I got a phone. Well, I got a text message. Was practicing with Renee and Jaron today, and the bass player's coming from Baytown, the drummer's coming from Austin, both about almost around 2 hours away from each other. Jared's about 50 miles outside of Houston, stuck in traffic. Business, and it can't be a bad house guest, so it looks like we might have to take practice over to Austin, but Jared don't even know what's going on in Austin. So it's kind of a little predicament right here. There's always random shit always fucking happens, like I said. You just can never predict anything that happens here. So, I called Jared, he's about 50 miles out, so I gotta wait for him to get better phone service because our phone's still breaking out. So I'm texting him, hey, let's go to Austin. He's like, let's go to Austin for us. I'm gonna tell him, hey, so we can have practice there. I'll give him a free ride, or he can ride with me, which sucks because that means he has to take 4-hour trips, you know, on the road, and God, being on the road sucks. Oh, by the way, if you pay attention, you can actually see this full screen. It's because we had a new camera. Stop using cell phones. We upgraded. So we're gonna see what happens. Maybe I'll keep it posted. Okay, what originally was supposed to plan was supposed to happen. I was supposed to have Renee come over here and at my house, and you come over here, and I guess we both collaborate. And I'll show you the riffs, and then once you get that learned, because I see you play live. Obviously, you're a badass musician, and it shouldn't take more than like fucking 10 minutes to get down to easy songs. Okay. Can you hear me now? Probably, yeah. Like I said, if you want, I can practice with you for a couple of hours. And then we can go to Austin. Like I said, I mean, you can hop with me and I'll drop you off first get home myself.
Okay. So we can't just like rent at your place or nothing like that?
I can't because Renee's in Austin. Renee lives in Austin.
Okay.
He was supposed to come down here to Houston, but he has the guys from Extremely Rotten over because they had a show last night in Austin, and so he doesn't want to kick him out because he don't want to be a bad house guest. So unfortunately, that that means that he's still over there. I was asking him, can you come down here? He's like, I don't know. So what I can do is I can show you the music and a little bit, and then for a couple of hours, and then we head up to Austin. It only takes about 2 hours to get to Austin. And then
okay. Well, I mean, I'm calling everybody. I was already on the road. When would we be going back, like tonight?
Yeah, probably like around 10, 11-ish.
Alright, you'd be cool with bringing me all the way back.
Yeah, I have no problem at all. This is not your fault. This is, you shouldn't have to be driving on the road. Like I said, you're trying out for my band. I appreciate you. I appreciate you doing that. So it's more of my responsibility to make sure you're taken care of. You shouldn't have to go all the way out of the way. So.
Well, hey, how's this sound, dude? Like, I still kind of don't know, but did you say that you're going to show me the music and stuff?
Yeah,
first, and then go up there?
Yeah, for like a couple hours, yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, I mean, I've seen you play. I think you should probably get that down within like an hour, 2 hours tops. I mean, this is shit that we wrote when we were 17. I'm 25, 26. So.
Okay, well, man, I'm still, I don't have my mind made up yet. You think it'd be cool if, like, still went to your place or whatever,
and then once you get the music, figure out whether you want to go to Austin with me or not.
Yeah, would you do that, like, if I just went back home after?
No, I wouldn't blame you. I understand. I understand. I wouldn't blame you. All right, man. See you when you get here. Bye-bye. Okay, so now I got to figure out what the hell I'm going to do. Looks like I might have to pull a double duty in practice. This is like back into the old days. This is back in the old school days, like before we had the Chainsaw Cutting record out. This is really crucial because it's like we've been a two-piece, Michael and I. Obviously, Michael's at work. It's hard for the singer because he has the kids and he has his job. I got my job, so it's really more or less me trying to string the whole goddamn band together, and it's frustrating because this is very crucial because it's just him and I, and we have either session drum, either Raymond for the last 2 years. This is actually a crucial part where we can actually get a 4-piece band, and we hadn't done that since fucking forever. And I don't know. So it looks like I might have to pull W, practice with this guy for about a couple hours, show him the riffs, and then go drive up to Austin. So basically, I probably won't get home till like probably midnight. I told him 10 o'clock, but I was just kind of lying. It takes about 2.5 hours to get to Austin. Plus, you got the traffic, and then you got to set up and all that gay shit in between just for running through the set list like 3 or 4 times just to drive back home. You got to think all that gas money just to play, what, an hour of music nonstop? It's pretty crazy. Okay, throughout the years, since we have so many musicians come throughout this band. If you go to Metal Archives, you see the list of people who've gone through this band, and you learn which each individual person, they all learn differently. So the best way to do is to give them as many tools as possible so they can have a higher chance of succeeding and sticking with the band or learning music as fast as possible. Nothing lasts forever, nothing's safe, and expect the worst but prepare for the best. So what I've done is throughout the records, the Chainsaw Kun, Rectal Torment, Origin Apocalypse, I got back in the studio and stripped out the guitars and the vocals. Obviously, you can just hear bass and drums. So if you're a drummer, you can hear where the drum placement's at. And if you're playing guitar, you don't have to hear the vocals, so you can just hear the drums and focus on the music purely. When you get familiar and you feel more comfortable with that, there's also the studio track in there where they can actually hear the whole band and get the whole concept. So when they're on stage, they can have more than just the drums to follow. They can have the vocals to follow too. In addition to that, they actually have real music, so they can know what tab, what notes, what fret is on what fret, what notes on what fret, and not just kind of guesstimate and go off of handwritten tabs. But they're also going to have a PDF file, Guitar Pro 5 tabs, and that really helps out. Here's what you're hearing right now is Dissected Entrails. This is off of first record, first track. So, I know it sounds kind of funny, it sounds like a video game, but, there's like 3 different ways to actually learn to that, in addition to the one-on-one lessons. Pretty much what that is, because we're affiliated with Savard promoters in these festivals, when you message them on MySpace days, like back in 2007, they believed it. They believed in you. And if you did okay, chances are they got too drunk and they think you should do a great job when you probably did it. But as long as you made that friend connection, that's how you do that. And then one promoter, all these promoters go to each other's shows and they see that, hey, you did pretty good, you went to a show, or you ask them, and then that's how you get hooked up and you start working the indie circuit. One connection leads to another connection. For example, how we got started was we got started from we're in Houston. We play shows in Houston, and we played with a show, the band called Scattered Remains, or what was it? Which is one of Renee's bands.
Yeah.
And Engaged Mutilation. Engaged Mutilation, the singer there was named Aaron. I forgot his last name. This doesn't really matter. But he's like, I got a show called Warrior's Ball. This is my second year doing this. Would you guys be interested? We'd actually be on. He's like, we'd be on. He's like, well, I don't know if the band drops off. Well, the band drops off. And that's how we got on. So because of the Warrior's Ball, we met Raymond from Abolishment of Flesh, which him and his wife were in the West Texas Death Fest.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so we got hooked up with that, and then from that, I think we got hooked up to Colorado Foothills Death Fest. And then I messaged the guy from Las Vegas Death Fest, Mike Gordon, hey, back in MySpace days. He's like, well, if the band drops off, and then shortly a band did drop off, and then we got to go with them. And of course, we had a huge ass fight in the parking lot, so we didn't get on next year, but the following year we begged and pleaded, and we got on because another band canceled. That's how pretty much you used to be a backup band, and then get your foot in. Yeah, and this last year when we were at Vegas, we tore that up and hustled about $7 or $8 of merch.
Fuck yeah.
Now the hotel's expensive and the trip out there is expensive, but I ended up walking away with $300, which is pretty cool. And people start hitting you up once they start seeing you at these festivals. Oh, you are believable now. You start becoming a believable thing. And that's how we got hooked up with Los Angeles, and someone referenced us to New York, and that guy runs the whole tri-state area.
Dude, I saw that.
Fly. Yeah, sorry, New Jersey, and then New Jersey. That's the same promoter does in New York.
I saw the New York Death Fest one. I was like, holy shit.
So, what's your name and what bands you played in? And
Jaron Hernandez. I played in Belehit and Avarice.
What you here to do today?
Huh?
What are you here to do today?
Learn some diminished riffs.
Hopefully it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. The rest of just, you can repeat this 4 times, like a triple.
Hey, Daniel. You are always entertaining and delightful.
I know today was kind of boring. The bass is boring. The music did look easy. It's because we wrote that one when we were like 17, 18. And I have those short songs, but I start off first. Starting off with short songs because they're easy and they're quick to learn into the set list. Not only that, but they are actually, because they're simple, they're easy to get into, easy for the consumer, the listener, the fans to sink their teeth into, rather than play something really technical with the keys of fifth and all kinds of music theory. People just like simple music to listen to. So I'm going to start Jaron off, I pronounce his name right. They start off with the easy songs to build his confidence up and start adding the set list in there. And then from there, I'll start adding on more intricate music. You got to have a balance. You can't have pure technicality, because you have pure technicality, then you get put to sleep. I.e., Morbid Angel and other bands I'm not going to mention. But you got to have more than just technicality. You got to have some listeners to be user friendly. At the same time, you can't be too simple because it gets boring. But for these couple songs, I wrote them a long time ago to keep them short and simple and sweet. So when we constantly have new members coming in, it's easier to learn. He got down Grotesque the Butcher down all the way, did pretty good. He got majority of like Chainsaw Cutting down. I couldn't go to practice with Renee because it was starting too late. By the time I was going to leave Houston, it'd be 7 o'clock. By the time we get there, it'd be like 9, 9:30. So what's going to happen is I'm going to work with him Tuesday after I get done practice with Kabuto. Kabuto we get picked up on the second half of the record starting at noon for Tuesday, and then after 4 o'clock I head out to Austin to meet up with Renee from 6 till whenever.